Now let's take a look at some sample questions regarding volume. So the first question is, the volume of a solid is 192 cm cube. Find the height. So recall the formula, the triangle, V, base area, height. So if I want to find the height equals to volume divided by base area, which is equals to volume is 192 divided by base area is 4 times 4 equals 12 cm. So that's the answer, which is number 1. A container was 95% filled with water. When 135 ml of water was poured out, the container was half full. How much water was left in the container? Okay, so first thing, half full equals to 50%. Okay, so 95% minus away 50% equals to 45%. So 45% is actually 135 ml. Alright, so when 135 ml was poured out, the container was half full. So I'll just draw and let you understand. So actually, initially the container was 95% full. After it's poured out, it became 50% full. So this is 45%, which is actually the 135 ml. So how much water was left in the container? So I'm looking for 50%. So let's try and find 50%. So 50% is, how do you do it? Take this, divide, times. So 50 over 45 times 135 equals 150. And this is volume, so it's ml. Alright, so the answer is number 1. So the total surface area of a cube is 216. So let's look at this. This is a cube. So total surface area equals to 216 cm squared. So remember, surface area is equals to 6 times one side of the area equals to 216. So I want to find the volume. So area equals to 216 divided by 6 equals 36 cm squared. So I want to find one side is equals to square root of 36 equals to 6 cm. And I want to find the volume. So volume equals to 6 cm times 6 cm times 6 cm. Alright, so this is 6, 6, and 6. So I want to find the volume is length times breadth, length times the breadth times the height. So this is equals to 216 cm cube. So the answer is number 4. Now let's take a look at this question. 20 pails of water are needed to fill 2/5 of a tank. How many pails of water are needed to fill half of the tank? So this is the time when the formula that I keep talking about comes in super useful. So 2/5 of a tank is done by 20 pails of water. So half a tank would be, take this divided by this times this. So it's half divided by 2/5 times 20 equals. Alright, can you work it out and show me the answer later? So let's look at this question. How many 2 cm cubes are needed to build a big cube of side 8 cm? So let's look at the surface, look at the base first. So let's say this is 8 cm. 8 cm, so I need a 2 cm cube. So I can split into 2, 4, 6, 8. 4 cubes. And I need to split into 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so on the base, it's 4 by 4. So it's 4 by 4. And the height coming up is also 4. So therefore, the total number of cubes is, work it out. Alright, and let me know. So this is the number of cubes you can fit on the base area, and this is the number of cubes you can fit on the height. And therefore, this is the total number of cubes. Okay, until now we have seen like really easy volume questions, but don't be fooled, volume questions can get quite tough. So let's take a look at this one. It's getting a bit more difficult. So tank P has the measurement 44 by 20 by 12, fully filled with water. 3/4 of the water in tank P is poured into tank Q, which has a base area of 360 cm squared and is filled with water to the brim. How much water is poured into tank Q? Okay, let's take a look. So tank P, let's draw it out. So I have a base area and I have some kind of a height. So this is 44 by 20 by 12. It's fully filled with water. 3/4 of the water is poured into tank Q and the base area is 360 cm squared. And you fill it to the brim. So what is the height? Okay, let's find out how much water is poured into tank Q. So water poured into Q is 3/4. So let's draw the triangle, very important. Volume, base area, and height. Okay, so volume is base area times height. So 3/4 times base area is 44 by 20, 44 by 20 by height is 12. And the answer is equals to 7920 cm cube. Okay, I want you to change this to liters. So how many liters are there? I want to see the answer later. So next one is height of tank Q. So if you look at height, it's equals to volume divided by base area. So height equals to volume over base area equals to, volume is 7920 divided by base area is 360 equals 22 cm. Alright, and that's the answer for these two parts. Okay, let's look at this question. Tank A was filled with water as shown in the figure. Water was then poured from tank A to tank B until the height of the water level in tank A become twice that of the level in tank B. Okay, so this is a very common question. Alright, so I pour here, I pour there until the height becomes like half or twice or 3 times. Very, very common question. So you have to learn how to do this. Find the volume of water in tank B. Give your answer in liters. Aha. So this one, have to divide by 1,000 or times 1,000, depending on what you are converting from or to. So first of all, let's find out what's the volume of water in tank A. So volume in tank A is equals to, let's draw my lovely triangle again, volume, base, area, and height. So volume is base area times height equals to base area is 40 times 30 times 55 equals 66 1000 cm cube. Or you should actually, the proper way of saying this is cubic centimeters. So base area of A is equals to 40 times 30 equals 1200 cubic centimeters. Base area of B is equals to 100 times 20 equals to 2000 cubic centimeters. All right. So basically, I'm just these three numbers I just find out based on the information that I'm given. So I have 100, I have 20, I have 30, I have 40. So I just find the base area. I have volume of A, so I just find volume of A. These are just things that the question has given me, so I know how to find all this information. Okay, so now is the key thing. So I pour from here to here until the height in tank A is twice that in tank B. So let's say I pour until the height reach here. So tank A would then be 1 and 2. All right. So let this height be H, and therefore in tank A it will be H and H, which is also known as, so this is known as 2H. Okay, so this is important. I will pour here until the height becomes H, and then over here at tank A the height will be H plus H, which is 2H. So if you don't understand this, please stop this video now and ask for my help, because this is important for you to realize. So the next line is going to be the most important because we're forming the equation. So basically the base area, so we're going to find the volume of A, of tank A, plus the volume of tank B is equals to 66,000. All right. So whatever I pour here or I pour there, the volume added together is equals to 66,000. So let's find what's the volume in tank B first. So the volume in tank B is equals to, so volume is equals to base area times the height. So base area in tank B is over here, I found is 2000. So it's 2000 times the height, which is H. All right, and the volume in tank A is equals to, base area is 1002 times the height is 2H. All right, so 2000 H plus 1002 times 2H equals to 66,000 cm cube. And can you solve for what is H? All right, so give you a clue, this one would be 2,400 H. Okay, so you need to add up all the H and then divide it by 66,000 and you should get your answer. Okay, we are now approaching the land of moderately difficult volume questions. So this is going to get a bit harder and harder from here. So tank P and tank Q contain a total of 1,588 liters of oil together. After 5/9 of the oil from P and 323 liters of oil from Q were drained away, the volume of oil remaining in tank P was twice the volume of oil remaining in tank Q. What was the volume of oil in tank Q at first? Okay, if you need a few more minutes to understand this question, please pause the video and just slowly go through this question and understand it. Okay, so anyway, tank P and Q contain a total of 1588. Just write this down first. So P plus Q equals to 1588 liters. Okay, so after 5/9 of the oil from P, blah blah blah, Q were drained away. So this kind of thing, right? This is actually like a ratio question. P and Q, let's draw a line to separate them. Okay, and they were drained. So how much were drained? 5/9 from P. 5/9 from P. Q is 3/3. And then left is 4/9. And this is Q minus 3/3. And they told you P was twice the volume of Q. So it's 2:1. All right. So you have all this information. What can we do with it? So let's draw some models to figure it out. So first of all, I'm left with 4/9. So I'm left with 4 units. So I'm going to put 4 units over here. And I know that I am twice of Q. What is left of Q? So if this is 4 units is P, then I know that my Q is actually only 2 units. All right. So if you don't understand this part, please pause the video and ask me again so I can share with you how to work this out. And I know that I drained 5/9 away. I'm not going to draw 5 parts. So I'm just going to draw a big one and just write 5 units. And I drained 3/3 away. So I'm going to just draw here and write 3/3. And I know that the total is 1588. Okay, so this is 4 units. So can you solve this question? 2 units. All right. So basically 4 units plus 2 units plus 5 units plus 3/3 equals to 1588. Solve for 1 unit. You are looking for tank Q at first, which is 2 units plus 3/3. All right. Go and solve it. Find the answer for tank Q and show me your answers when you're done. Okay, now we are firmly in the land of complicated volume and rate questions. So let's jump in. The figure shows 3 taps, all right, tap A, tap B, and tap C, and an empty rectangular tank. So rectangular tank is 50, 30, and height is 40. Lydia turned on tap A with the water flowing at 5 liters per minute. So I'm going to write this here, 5 liters per minute. After 2 minutes, she placed a rock of volume 1250 in the tank. So rock 1250 in the tank, and turn on tap B and C as well. So if you notice, B goes in, A goes in, and C comes out. All right, so that's, you must realize this. Tap C drains the tank at a rate of 2 liters per minute. So it's 2 liters per minute. After 5 more minutes, so I'll just write here 2 minutes. All right, 2 minutes is from here. After 2 minutes, she placed a rock of volume. So 5 liters per minute went for 2 minutes. After 5 more minutes, Lydia turned off all the taps and noted that the height of the water was 30 cm. So 5 more minutes, right? So it's 5 minutes and 5 minutes and another 5 minutes. So after 5 more minutes, Lydia turned off all the taps and noted that the height of the water was 30 cm. Find the rate of flow of water from tap B. So what is the rate? B liters per minute? Question mark. Okay, you must be able to understand this diagram that I've drawn. You must be able to understand how I got 5 and 2 and 5. And also that this is actually the question that it went on for 5 minutes. There was 30 cm. After that, there was a rock of this volume. It was draining water out at this and 5 minutes. Okay, if any one of this you don't understand, please stop the video and ask me for my help. Okay, so how are we going to do this question? So first of all, I want to find out what is the volume. I know it's 30 cm here, right? So that's the easiest one. So I'm going to find the volume at the end. All right. So that's equals to, so again, my favorite triangle, volume, base area, and height. So volume equals to base area times height, base area times height equals 50 times 30 times, at the end it's 30, so I'm going to times 30. So this is my base area and this is my height. So the answer for this part is 45,000 cm cube. Okay, and 1 liter equals to 1,000 cm cube. So cubic centimeters, sorry, equals to 45 liters. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I get it again, because it's actually quite important for you to know. So my decimal point is here, so I'm going to shift back. My decimal point is here, so I'm going to shift back 1 decimal point, 2 decimal point, 3 decimal point. So my new decimal point is over here. Over here. All right. So that's how I get 45.000, which is 45 liters. So how am I going to find the rate for tab B? So I know that the volume that came out from tab A plus the volume that came out from tab B minus away the volume that left tab C is equals to 45 liters or 45,000 cm cube minus away 1250. Okay, so I'm going to explain this line. So volume of A, so I want to find the total volume of A going in, volume of B going in, minus away this volume, total volume, all right, is equals to the 45,000, which is this amount of water inside. But I have a rock over here, which is 1250, so I need to minus away the 1250 to get the volume of water. So this is the volume of water. All right, minus away the rock, which is 1250. So let's see how do we do this. So if I want to find the volume of tab A equals to, so for this, it's liters per minute. So it's 5 liters in 1 minute. So I know that at first I switch on for 2 minutes, and then after that I switch on for 5 more minutes. So it's a total of 7 minutes. So 7 minutes, 7 minutes. So again, divide times equals to 35 liters. That's A, so A is 35 liters. Volume of B is equals to a question mark. Question mark times 5 minutes. Volume of C is equals to 2 liters per minute times 5 minutes equals to 10 liters. So let's look at this one again. So 45,000 minus away 1250 equals 43750. Okay, so if you want to find volume of B, it's then equals to 43750 which is the volume of the water, minus away volume of A, plus volume of B. Okay, so basically, sorry, not volume of B, but volume of C. Okay, so I want to find B. I need to move my C over, which is minus becomes plus. I need to move my A over, which is plus becomes minus. So it becomes minus volume of A plus volume of C equals to 43750. I convert this to liters because my other information is all in liters. So I convert 1 to 3 equals to 43.75 liters minus away. Volume of A is 35 liters. 35 minus away, plus volume of C is 10 equals 18.75 liters. So that's volume of B. But I know that volume of B was pouring for 5 minutes. So for 5 minutes, volume of B. So for 5 minutes, volume of B was 18.75 liters. So I want to find liters per minute. So therefore 1 minute is 1 divided by 5, as again divide times 18.75 equals 3.75 liters per minute. Okay, so that's how you solve this question. Like I said, you're moving firmly into difficult territory. So let's rub away some of the stuff so I can explain it again now that we have gone through it. Okay, so the idea behind this question is I have some water going in from tap A. I have some water going in from tap B. I have some water coming out from tap C. In the end, I got a certain level of water. And I also have a rock inside, which is 1250. So first of all, I need to find the water. So I need to take the volume, which is the base area times the height, minus away the rock to find the water, which is, so this is the total volume, minus away the rock. So this is the rock. So this is just the water itself. And then I know A and B going in. If you add A and you add B, you minus away C, that's the volume, right? So if you add A and B, minus away C, you get this volume of the water, which is cubic centimeters. So that's the water. So then you can find the volume of A that came out, which is 5 liters times 7 minutes. You need to realize it's 7 minutes based from the question. And then you can find volume of C coming out, which is 2 liters per minute times 5 minutes, which is 10 liters. And you can then find volume B when you move all the C over. Okay, so that's the volume of the water minus away the volume of A plus the volume of C. And you get the volume of tap B is 18.75. And so to get the rate of tap B, it's, tap B was switched on for 5 minutes. So 5 minutes you get 18.75 liters. Therefore 1 minute, 1 divided by 5 times 18.75, you get 3.75 liters per minute. Okay, so that's how you get the answer. So now try and do it yourself. All right, if you cannot do it, at least be able to label out the entire diagram with the 2 minutes, 5 minutes, understand how you get 2 and 5, understand how you get the 5 minutes, the 30 cm, tap C is 2 liters, and be able to come up with this equation. Once you can come up with this, right, it's like 50% solved. Okay, let's look at the next question. Tank P is at first empty and tank Q is filled with some water. water is filled into both tanks at the same rate of 0.0012 meter cube per minute. At 15 minutes, the height of water in both tanks are equal. Find the amount of water in tank Q at first. Okay, so I have tank P and tank Q. So I have 0.00, so 1 minute, I am filling in 0.0012 cubic meters. So for 15 minutes, how much do I fill in? So 15 times 1, 15 divided by 1 times this. So it's 15 times 0.0012, which is equals to 0.018 cubic meters. So I know that both tanks had 0.018 cubic meters worth of water going into it. So let's look at my favorite formula again. I have my volume, I have my base area, and I have my height. So my base area of tank P equals to 0.6 times 0.1 equals 0.06 cubic meters. My base area of tank Q equals to 0.5 times 0.2 equals 0.1 cubic meters. Okay, so for tank P, I have my base area, I have the volume, therefore I have the volume, I have the base area, therefore I can find H. So height of P is equals to volume of P divided by base area of P, which is equals to 0.018 over 0.06 equals 0.3 meters. And I know that the height of water in both tanks are equal, so therefore 0.3 meters equals to the height of tank Q. And originally there was some height, which I'm not sure, and then in the end it became 0.3, which if you look at this is actually the full volume of the tank Q. So I can then find volume of Q at the end, and that's equals to the base area of Q times the height of Q, which is equals to 0.1 times 0.3 equals 0.03 cubic meters. And the question asked me to find the amount of water in tank Q at first. So my volume of water at the end is 0.03 cubic meters. So volume for Q at first is equals to volume at the end minus volume filled. Alright, so volume of Q at first is volume at the end minus away the volume that I fill it in. So that's equals to volume at the end is 0.03 minus away the volume that was filled in is actually this volume, which is 0.018. That's equals to 0.012 cubic meters. And that's the answer. Alright, so let's go over this question again. So basically, the 2 tanks were empty. You poured in a certain amount of volume, and you find that if you take this, multiply by 15 minutes, you get this answer, which is the amount you pour for both tanks. So 0.018 cubic meters for both tanks. So then, because this tank was empty, right? So I can find the height. Basically, the height is, so if you look at the formula over here, the height is the volume divided by the base area. Volume divided by base area. So volume, I know it's 0.018 divided by the base area is 0.6 times 0.1, and that's 0.3. So basically, my water ended up at 0.3. And I know that tank Q had the same height. So tank Q was also 0.3. So I can find in the end what was the volume. So volume is base area times the height. So base area of Q times height of Q is 0.1 times 0.3. And that gives me 0.03. This is the volume in the end. So the question is asking the amount of water in tank Q at first. So to find the tank Q, the amount of water in tank Q at first, so amount of water, the other way of looking at this is at the end, it's actually the amount of water at tank Q at first plus the amount of water that was filled or added. Alright, so amount at first plus the amount that was added. So if I want to find amount at first, then I need to take this and minus off from plus to become minus. So it's the end minus away the amount I filled. So equals to, in the end, I have this, which is 0.03 minus the amount I filled in was 0.018. So therefore, the amount at first was 0.012. Okay, let's look at this question. A rectangular container is 90 cm long and 45 cm wide, filled with water to 30 cm. So again, V, my favorite formula, BA, base area times height. So for this one, I've got base area, I've got height, so therefore I can find V, which is volume. So find the volume of the water in a container in cubic centimeters. So be careful, they want cubic centimeters, so volume equals to base area times height, which is equals to 90 times 45 to a height of 30 cm equals 7920 cubic centimeters. Okay, so that's the answer, quite easy. If an additional amount of 26.73 liters of water is needed to fill the container until it is 3/4 full, what is the height of the container? So remember, 1 liter equals to 1000 cubic centimeters. So what's the height of the container? So I want to find the height. What is it? So recall from here, height is volume divided by the base area. So 3/4 full, so 3/4 full equals to additional amount of 26.73, so equals to the original volume 7920 plus 26.73, 26.73 liters. Okay, so be careful. This is in cm cube. This cubic centimeters. This is in liters. So equals to, I'm going to times change this to cubic centimeters. So I need to times 1000. 7920 plus, times 1000, so 1 decimal place, 2 decimal place, 3 decimal place, 0.0, so it's 2673.0 equals, Wait a minute, I got this one wrong. It's actually 121,500 cubic centimeters. So I need to change this as well. Okay, so if you add up both, it equals to 148,230 cubic centimeters. So now I have the volume, I have the base area, so I need to find the new height. So height equals to 148,230 divided by the base area. So this is the volume divided by the base area. So that equals to 36.6 cm. So I know that 3/4 of the tank is 36.6 cm. Therefore, the whole tank, one tank, is, I take this, divided by this, times this, so it's 1 divided by 3/4 times 36.6 equals to 1 times, I flip this around, 4/3 times 36.6 equals to, this is the answer. Alright, so go and try this question out and then finish it and finish the whole paper and show it to me.